We are going to talk about polyhydramnios, which is too much amniotic fluid around the fetus. First, we'll talk about what happens under normal circumstances. The maximum volume of amniotic fluid is produced by the end of 28 week of gestation. That is, by the end of second trimester, there is maximum volume of amniotic fluid, which is 800 ml around the fetus. Right? After that, it gradually goes down. So by the end of full term, at the end of 40th week, right, the volume is around 500 ml. Right? So this amniotic fluid is a balance between production and resorption. Right? Production is mainly by the kidneys, and there is some contribution by the lungs too. Right? Mainly by the kidneys. Resorption is predominantly by the fetal swallow in fetal drinking, and there is some resorption by the placenta too, but mainly the fetal drinking. So it's a balance between the production by the kidneys and the resorption by the fetal drinking. Any disturbance in this balance can produce the pathological situation, that is too much amniotic fluid or too little amniotic fluid. So we'll talk about polyhydramnios. Before that, how can we get an idea about the amount of amniotic fluid? So there is a test that we can do. There is a measurement that we can do. For this we use ultrasound, right? That we call this as amniotic fluid index. Measuring the amniotic fluid index, we can have an idea about the amount of amniotic fluid, right? Here we divide the abdomen into 4 quadrants, right? Right upper quadrant, right lower quadrant, left upper quadrant, left lower quadrant, right? After that, right, using the ultrasound, measure the largest vertical pocket in each segment. Right? In each segment, measure the largest vertical measurement, largest vertical height, right, of each segment. For example, if in the right upper quadrant, the largest vertical segment is 8 centimeter, right? Left upper quadrant 9 centimeter, right lower quadrant 7 centimeter, left lower quadrant 6 centimeter. After that, add all those 4, right? The sum of all those 4 is 30 in this case, right? So in that case, so we have to see what is normal, and if it is more than normal, we call it polyhydramnios. It is less than normal, we call it oligohydramnios. So normal amniotic fluid index is between 5 and 25. That is the normal amniotic fluid index. Anything below that, that means below 5 is oligohydramnios. Anything above that, that is about 25, indicates polyhydramnios. So that is the most important indication of the amount of amniotic fluid. So by measuring the amniotic fluid index, right? There's another method, right? So here we don't have to measure all 4 quadrants, but we take only one measurement. We go to the all 4 segments, but take the largest vertical dimension, right? Largest vertical dimension in any of the one of those pockets. So we have to go to the all 4, but take the largest vertical dimension, right? So the largest pocket, the vertical dimension of the largest pocket should be between 2.1 centimeter and 8 centimeter. That is the normal, between 2.1 to 8 centimeters. Anything less than 2 or less than 2 indicates oligohydramnios. If it is more than 8 centimeter, that indicates polyhydramnios. So that is by using only one measurement, right? So when you talk about polyhydramnios, so that is, as I said, this is too much amniotic fluid, right? So if you measure the amniotic fluid index, it is greater than 25, right? What are the causes of polyhydramnios? Diabetes mellitus is a common cause of polyhydramnios. Multiple gestation, common cause of polyhydramnios. Neural tube defects such as anencephaly, right? Because all those CSF accumulate because there is no brain development, right? So that is anencephaly. There is polyhydramnios. Obstruction in the gastrointestinal tract, right? Because, for example, duodenal atresia, tracheoesophageal fistula. So there is fetal drinking is affected. So there is too much accumulation. That is polyhydramnios. Hydros fetalis, again, hydros fetalis is from many causes, like commonly due to RH incompatibility, right? So there is congestive heart failure. So there is water collection, right? Fluid collection, that is polyhydramnios. Then monozygotic multiple gestations. Here the important thing is monozygotic, right? One zygote divided into 2, right? Because they share the same placenta. So it can result in twin-to-twin transfusion from one twin to the other twin, right? So there is polyhydramnios around one fetus, oligohydramnios around the other fetus. That is twin-to-twin transfusion, right? So this is twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, right? So it occurs only with monozygote twins, right? You can see this. There is polyhydramnios around this baby and oligohydramnios around the other baby, right? So how do you diagnose polyhydramnios? Right here, abdomen is larger than the dates, right? The abdomen is larger than the dates, right? And then when you do the ultrasound and when you measure the amniotic fluid index, that can be confirmed. Amniotic fluid index more than 25, right? Then when you take the history, you will see there is a maybe the patient has multiple gestation, maternal diabetes. So any of those etiological factors may be there, right? So what are the risk of high polyhydramnios? Now we have to think about what is happening. You have too much amniotic fluid. So babies just floating, right? Babies swimming around because there is too much amniotic fluid, right? So normally toward the end of the term, the baby rotates and head goes to the lower segment, right? So that the presenting part is the head cephalic presentation. That's what normal. That is normal, right? But here the babies has too much amniotic fluid and babies moving here and there, too much free movement, right? So that can result in malpresentations. Maybe the breech presentation, meaning buttocks presenting, or maybe the transverse presentation, right? So malpresentations are very common with polyhydramnios. Then the other is cord prolapse, right? Think about the situation. Baby has lot of amniotic fluid, right? So we do the membrane when the membrane rupture occurs, right? So the umbilical cords are floating in the amniotic fluid. So they will go before the head. They will enter the maternal vaginal tract before the head. So that is cord prolapse. So that the cord can get compressed before the delivery. The cord is compressed between the fetal head and the maternal genital tract. So that results in fetal distress, fetal asphyxia, right? So cord prolapse is a major problem in amniotic fluid. Too much amniotic fluid, that is in polyhydramnios. So malpresentations and cord prolapse are the two most common problems during delivery that leads to obstetric problems, right? So during management, we have to do during delivery, we have to do the vaginal examination after the membrane rupture to exclude cord prolapse, right? Speculum examination to see if the cord has come out, right? That's very important. And also we have to monitor for malpresentation during delivery, right? So that's all about polyhydramnios. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below. And also please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for future lectures. Thank you.